Raj Chopra has dialed in from Delhi. Raj, how can we help you?
Yeah, my question is, as per income tax law, if you have more than one residential unit, let's say if somebody has 5 residential units, whether they are flats or bungalows, he is given a choice to pick up one house for himself on which there is no income tax liability. But for the rest of them, whether they are rented out or they are lying vacant, I have to still pay income tax on it. Is that correct?
Well, yes, that is correct. Every year you have a choice. If you have multiple properties, you can choose any one that you will treat as a self-occupied property, and the other properties, even if they are not actually rented out, they are treated as deemed let-out properties.
But what is the rate of tax?
Yeah, so what happens there is that you have to take the notional rental value. Supposing you were to rent it out, what is the amount of rent that you would have earned? So that is the calculation that will come into play.
The point is, if let's say the market rentable is 1 lakh of rupees per month. Now the tenant has gone away. I need about 2-3 months to refurbish it and to get a suitable tenant, and I lose about 4 months in it. And as long as I'm getting rent, I'm willing to pay everything. But then, if it is lying vacant, it is an additional liability, good for nothing. There's no point in having any profit.
Vinay, that's an interesting question. If he's not getting rental income, does he still pay tax?
Yes. Now, what happens in your case, in the example that you're giving me, that there is a rent for part of the year, and then there is a vacancy during which you are doing some refurbishing, and then you will again put it out on rent. Am I correct?
Yeah, Vinay, essentially that's what he's asking.
Yes,
if he takes 4 months to refurbish the flat.
Yes, so if that is the case, actually he is entitled to vacancy allowance, which means that he will not have to pay tax on the period that it is not rented out.
Okay, so Vinay, how does he go about showing this to tax authorities? What does he need to do?
No, he has to. It is just a deemed let out property. He will have to claim in the tax returns. He has to claim his vacancy allowance, saying that this was the period for which it was vacant. But it is a rented property and which it will continue to go on rent. So there are judgments also on this point that if it is vacant for some time, there is no issue. It is not tax is not to be paid on that.
So essentially, there in the tax return that you file, there is a place where you can claim vacancy allowance, or do you need to furnish any other papers, any other documents?
Not unless documents are asked for, which would happen only if there is a scrutiny. So in case the taxman picks him up for scrutiny, then he may be asked to justify or produce evidence to show that the person was not there and there was no rent being earned and it was actually vacant, not otherwise.
Right, Raj, if you're taking 4 months or 6 months to refurbish your home, you can claim vacancy allowance. Keep papers ready. If there is a scrutiny, you will have to show that you spend that time refurbishing your house.